Yeah. Apply pressure from every angle, you feel me? Yeah, you know. Attack move. Never fold, man. Nah, never fold, never quit, yeah. Keep going, like, yeah.
Now they gotta feel me, yeah. Now they gotta feel me, yeah. Now they finna feel me. I try to keep it cool, but niggas always act a fool. So now they gotta feel me, yeah. Now they gotta feel me, yeah. Now they finna feel me. I try to keep it cool, but niggas always act a fool. So now they gotta,
yeah, I smoke that dang. Tryna get M's in the bank, fuck what they think. Knock a nigga whole mouth out. Come sign me, top rake, throw hands like Tank. Knock it out the park like Hank. I've been doing them planks, what you got on my drink? I've been trying to keep my sane. Humanity so lame, fuck you and your gang. Speaking on the dead man's name.
Roll Tide full of pride, roll tide, baby. Roll Tide full of pride, roll tide. Here we are again. Here we are again. You know, another live. Let's get it. Let's get it. Before I dive in, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Support the grind, support the channel. Share this with any and everybody you know for sure. No cap, bro. Let's get it heavy. Down at the levee, we going fishing at the levee. Roll Tide. So got some things to talk about today, man. Definitely some topics to break down. You know, Noah Rogers is hurt, is injured. He will be out for a while. That was probably one of the biggest setbacks as far as the A-Day game goes. You weren't expecting that. No one wants that. But anytime you put players on the field, anytime you have contact and violence, etc., it's always the opportunity, the possibility to have an injury. Just turns out it was an injury to a potential major player for Alabama. For real. Noah Rogers been making a lot of noise spring camp. Yeah, a lot of noise spring camp and all that. But no, he must miss reps. He must be out a while. Now, of course, prayers to him. Hopefully he recovers quickly and swiftly. And I'm gonna break down what's going on with him, etc. But definitely sucks for Bama. Now, who will step up is the question. Who will be the next man up at the receiver in the receiver room? The receiver room is very good. So losing Rodgers sucks, yeah, but he will be replaced, and it was still a battle going on anyway. So you got Ryan Coleman Williams, Lloyd Searbrooks, Sadarian Morgan. You may have to look at him more now, but the list goes on. So you have talent in the receiver room where you don't have to panic if you're Bama, if you're K Dog or Grub. You know. So you're definitely gonna go and get into the Noah Rogers situation. Of course, got to speak about Keelan Russell. News is a lot of people saying Keelan Russell was QB1. He just won it at the A-Day game, A-Day scrimmage, whatever you want to call it. But a lot of people feel like Keelan Russell is the man, will be the guy. Outperform Mac, even though K Dog mentioned Austin Mac being banged up, hurt, whatever. Whatever you want to call it. K Dog really didn't dive too much into it. Now, was it something major going on, or did Keelan Russell simply outperform, outplay him the whole A-Day scrimmage damn near? Now, if he is injured, do you have to take certain things into account? Maybe, depending on the situation, of course. But the way it stands now, Keelan Russell won the QB1 starting job at the A-Day scrimmage. A lot of people say it, a lot of people think it, a lot of people want it to happen as well. So you still have to wait and see, but the time is coming. So we're definitely going to dive into Keelan Russell, how he performed, how he look, what does he need to improve upon, etc. His strengths, his weaknesses, all that. Some Justin Hill news as well. A few things he said. We're going to talk about some Bama players trending upward, etc. And then the Bama run game. Oh, yeah, for real. We know how piss poor the Bama run game was. How will it be this year? And we just going to break it down in the boogie downtown. Straight up. Here we go, man. Give me 1 second. Make sure you come in the chat. You like it up. Like, comment, and subscribe once again. Support the channel. Support the grind. It's what it is, man. Roll Tide full of pride. Roll Tide. Here we go. Here we go. Let's get it. Here we go. Let's get it. So first up, Noah Rod. We're gonna talk about Noah Rogers. Well, not Noah Rogers. Matter of fact, first up will be Keelan Russell, then Noah Rogers, and all that. But Keelan Russell made a lot of noise, a lot of noise in the A-Day game for sure. Now let me know in the chat, how do you feel about Keelan Russell personally? Do you think he will be the starting quarterback? Did he win the job on Saturday? Will he continue to grow and get better? Was Austin Mack hurt? Period. Let me know, bro. Let me know how you feel. Just make sure it's real. Roll Tide full of pride, baby. Ain't nothing rolling but the damn tide. Huh? Here we go, man. Here we go. Oh, yeah. So let's talk about Keelan Russell for sure. Let's see here. So let's talk about his preparation even before the A-Day game. the work he's been putting in already. We go. Keelan Russell had a phenomenal week before A-Day, but Alabama has great competition at QB. So it started with the week before. You understand? It started with the preparation he put in, the work, the effort he put in the week before. And he build on the momentum, right? But it started with him being focused, being locked in, focused on the task at hand. Here we go. Someone asked Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer if the Crimson Tide had a quarterback controversy with Austin Mack and Keelan Russell. But DeBoer doesn't view the position battle that way. He actually sees it as the opposite. He said Monday on the Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9. I don't think of it as a controversy, not at this time of year. DeBoer told former Alabama linebacker Christian Miller, shout out Christian Miller. It's a great competition we have going on. That's a good thing. I say that in a positive way. I say that in a positive way because these guys have gotten after it. It's exciting. I know for fans to see these guys and see what we've been seeing in practice. And I mean, what is it a controversy for? It should be made a best man win. I don't care about no favoritism, no politics, this, that. Hell no. It should be the best man for the job. And if Keelan Russell was him, well, damn it, he's him. Austin Mack, whatever the case may be. If he's not, he's not. Period. It should be about setting a standard and winning, right? Boom. So once again, shout out Christian Miller. Once again, bro, here we go. Shout out K Dog as well. It's a great competition we have going on. That's a good thing. I say that in a positive way because these guys have gotten after it. It's exciting. I know for fans to see these guys and see what we've been seeing in practice. And sometimes you got to be careful not to oversell what's happening each and every day on our practice field, but that was more of the same of what we've seen from Keelan, and Austin was a little bit limited. But Austin's highlight reel would be something that people would be super impressed with as well. And Austin Mack had some real good throws in the highlight realm. He had one crazy throw to Ryan Coleman Williams, I believe, stepped in there up there in the pocket. I talked about it during the live and let it rip. Yeah, he let that bitch rip in there. Perfect pass. He has a strong ass arm. Now, was he limited with injuries, being banged up? What? Well, he needs to get 100% healthy quickly and swiftly, baby, before Keelan Russell is the certified QB1. Some people say he's the QB1 already after the performance he put on. We shall see. We shall see. Here we go. Once again, let me know in the chat. What do you feel about Keelan Russell? Is he the QB1? Is it still a battle? Did he perform well enough to beat out Austin Mack on Saturday? Here we go, baby. Roll Tide. Second here, 1 second here. Man. Mack and Russell evenly split the quarterback reps through the first dozen drives of Saturday's A-Day scrimmage. But after leading his first red zone series, Russell stayed on the field for the next four, finishing out the 2-hour scrimmage by playing 5 consecutive possessions. As DeBoer said, Mack was limited after getting dinged up in practice earlier in the week. So Keelan got a chance to take advantage of a few extra reps, and I thought he did exactly that, DeBoer said. Oh, hell yeah. Keelan Russell did just that, K-Dog. He took full advantage of his opportunity at hand. Oh, man, he was damn near great. And we had one pick. But once again, if we're going back to the stats, to the facts, Keelan Russell is your QB1. If we're talking about right now, boom, fresh off the A-Day game, A-Day scrimmage, who's the man for the job? You got to say Keelan Russell. Now, of course, you got summer camp, summer ball, what at fall camp before fall ball. So it will be still a real competition for sure. But going into summer camp and all that, going into the fall and all that, it may be Keelan Russell being your QB1, and K Dog might come around and stamp it off the rip. Oh, yeah, don't be surprised at all if he stamps it Holmes off the rip. Especially if what Keelan Russell performs well the last two practices of spring. Oh hell to the yeah, K Dog will stamp it. I'm sure. Ain't no way in hell he don't. He can't. He can't deny it. He can't avoid it. If Keelan Russell balls out in these last two upcoming practices, then hell yeah, he should be the QB1 going into the summer, the fall, etc. It's no way around it. He earned it. He banged for it. He battled for it, and let him win. Now, if Austin Mack comes back, looks better, improves, all right, different story, different conversation, different topic. But until then, it should be Keelan Russell, your QB1, right? Right. Once again, let me know in the chat how you feel. Did Keelan Russell win the job Saturday? Did he take over that number one spot? Period. Roll Tide. We go. For sure, man. Here we go. I thought it was a phenomenal week for him last week. I thought he grew a lot from scrimmage to scrimmage to scrimmage three. My bad, hold up. I thought he grew a lot from scrimmage two to scrimmage three, but he's been making plays. Austin's been making plays all spring long. Russell had a big day throwing the football on A Day, completing 21 of his 33 pass attempts for 240 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Mac, on the other hand, threw for 101 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 pick on 6 of 12 passing. Even before Mac was shut down for the day, it was clear that Russell had the better day, bouncing back from the second scrimmage. You can mislead people with one or two words when I talk publicly, and I mentioned in an interview, I think right after the second scrimmage, about these quarterbacks not living up to the level of play at or something, to the standard or something, and everyone is thinking they played awful. DeBoer said, well, they just didn't play to the level they had been playing, which I think we were excited about. Hmm. I think again, you saw Saturday, the throws aren't going to be a problem as far as arm strength, arm talent. Big facts, no cap. Alabama has two more spring practices before wrapping up the season. Both quarterbacks will look to build on their springs while continuing to compete for the starting spot behind center. Now it's the other things, the managing of things. DeBoer said a couple of times the ball was in. We were vulnerable just because of where the ball was at. A couple of balls got picked. At least one other could have probably got picked because the ball was on the ground ground a time. What's up with the misspellings, dog? You hear me? Heavy. Here we go. It didn't get lost, but those are the things I mean. It doesn't matter how good you are if you don't stay on the field. And I think overall, the quarterbacks have done a really, really good job of taking care of the ball, understanding that, hey, we need to be aggressive, but we also got to make sure we're not taking these unnecessary risks and just checking it down sometimes. A lot of times it's just great, and then you get your shots at the right time because you get behind the defense. So these guys have done a great job. I think there's a lot of belief and confidence by our whole team and our quarterback group. But like you said, Keelan had a great day. I was excited to see him take the next step and continue to grow. Come on, bro. What it is. Is Keelan the man? Is Keelan the man in the league? Straight up. We go. We got all right, buddy. Oh, what up, bro? So that's pretty much it for the Keelan Russell segment. 1 second. But yeah, once again, let me know in the chat. How do you feel? Who do you feel is in the league? Is it Keelan Russell? Is it still tied? Is it still up in the air? Or should Keelan Russell be your QB1? Let me know. Here we go. Let's see here, man. Now let's get into some Noah Rogers information. Let's see here. See what's going on with Rogers, man. Mm-hmm. We go. 1 second. And we know Noah Rogers was kind of leaning towards being one of the starters in the receiving core and all that. So like I said earlier, this injury definitely sucks, but he can regroup from it. Bama can regroup from it as well. They have the talent, they have the depth, all that. The question is who will step up for sure. You know, it's time for the next man up mentality. I repeat, the next man up mentality. You know, somebody has to step in for sure. Shit. Some people believe it'll be Cedarian Morgan. After what I seen from him and keep seeing from him and the catches, the crazy catches he's been making, baby. Oh, that number 8 fits him well. I repeat, that number 8 fits him very well. You know what I mean? Early. Here we go. No cap, they hear me early, man. Here we go. Hell yeah. You hear it for sure. For sure. So yeah, we're gonna talk about Noah Rogers. What happened? How long will he be out? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let's get it. Once again, you come in the chat, like it up, like, comment, and subscribe. Support the channel, support the grind. It takes less than 1 second. Why not? And let's dive into it. Here we go. Noah Rogers update. Alabama wide receiver to miss start of season after A-Day injury. Well, that sucks for real, Holmes. Wow. Damn. And once again, prayers up to Noah Rogers for sure. Man, injuries are part of the game, but they can be very, very, very major at times. They can be very piss poor at times, dog. You know, very unforgiving, etc. But man, you know, Noah Rogers came in making noise, performing well, stepping up, transfer guy, transfer portal guy, putting it in, putting that work in. Damn. You know, best wishes to him. And, you know, we definitely hope it's a quick, you know, a strong recovery quickly and swiftly. No cap. We go. Hu Yang in the building. What up, Holmes? Early, SKOL Tide. Did you meet and recruit any of them for Vikings? Hu Yang, wow. Hu Yang, wow. You rang Hu Yang, huh? Here we go, man. Here we go. Wow. Alabama wide receiver Noah Rogers will miss the start of the 2026 season due to injury. Head coach Kalen DeBoer revealed the game with Ryan Fowler on Tide 100.9 on Monday. Unfortunately, he suffered an injury that's going to take a little while to recover. and it will bleed into the season here a little bit, DeBoer told Fowler. I'm not going to give a timeline exactly, but he won't be ready to go right when the season starts. That sucks again. We do expect it to be a situation where he will get back, where he will get to be back during the season. Rogers suffered a knee injury during the Crimson Tide's A-Day scrimmage on Saturday. Anytime, like I keep saying, anytime you have a scrimmage, like I kept telling K-Dog, right? The fans can't play for you, Holmes. No way, no how. They can sit there and talk, oh, bring the A-Day game back, bring this back, bring that back. But guess what? Just like this situation right here, ain't now none of them fans who was in the stands can step up and play. You lose one of your best receivers to injury. The positive side to it, he can be back mid-season, maybe a little sooner than that. But now you got to regroup, revamp, depend on another player to step up. And that shouldn't be a problem because, like I've been saying, the receiver room is very talented. But man, you would love to have Rodgers on the field. High expectations for him as well. Been playing hard, balling hard all season. I mean, all spring, damn near. And injuries, bro, injuries. But anytime you put the pads on, scrimmage, whatever, even simple practice, hey, it can happen. It can happen, bro. No cap. That's why I say, give them a short little scrimmage. That's it. Give a fuck about them one long scrimmages and full games and full quarters. No, fuck that. Cause this what happens sometimes, bro. Right here. But they gotta bounce back from it. Darian Morgan, everybody gotta step up. Rico Scott, whoever. We're gonna see how it go down in the boogie downtown. Rogers suffered a knee injury during the Crimson Tide's A-Day scrimmage on Saturday. He was attempting to catch a pass toward the end zone and stayed down after contact with the defender. He needed help off the field and into the sideline medical tent before being carted to the Alabama locker room with a brace on his left knee. Rogers did not return to the Tide sideline. This spring, Rogers had consistently been one of the first wide receivers on the field, along with Ryan Coleman Williams and Lloyd Sear Brooks. He was one of the top standouts during Alabama's second scrimmage on April 3rd, catching multiple passes and scoring 2 touchdowns. Rogers entered the transfer portal this offseason after spending 2 years at NC State. Listed at 6'2", 201 pounds. He played in every game a season ago and started 12. Rogers finished the 2025 campaign as the Wolfpack's third leading receiver with 441 yards and 2 touchdowns on 33 receptions. He will be a redshirt junior for the 26-27 college football season. Unfortunate, just because Noah is such a high, he came in and really adapted to things so quickly, and our team just loves having him here, DeBoer said. Just to give you an idea of how positive he is, his response to me was how excited he was to get back and be around the team. Respect to him, bro. Shout out Rogers, no cap. And knowing how disappointed he is that he's going to have a little recovery here that he's got to work through for his focus to be on the team and not about himself just gives you an idea of the type of person he is. Once again, man, respect, shout out to him for sure. Here we go. Coming out in these moments of adversity that he didn't have to go through, and obviously us as a team that we've got to go through because he was making a lot of plays for us. New guys will have to step up here early in the season, especially. With Rogers going down, the Tide will need for its other scholarship wide receivers to step up, especially Derek Meadows, Rico Scott, and Darian Morgan. All three scored touchdowns on A-Day, with Meadows and Morgan being two of the top standouts from scrimmage number 3. Alabama will practice 2 more times this week before wrapping up its spring season. The Tide will kick off its 26-27 campaign on Saturday, September 5th at home against East Carolina. and they should dominate East Carolina. No cap. Roll Tide, baby. Ain't nothing rolling but the damn tide. Here we go. Oh yeah, heavy. Here we go. So that's the segment about Noah Rogers. Then we're gonna move right into Justin Hill. I believe Justin Hill is up next. Yeah. So Justin Hill made some comments, said some things. Justin Hill said he's ready, basically saying he's ready for that next step for sure. Justin Hill wants to affect the game more in sophomore year at Alabama. Hmm. And he could definitely do it. And then you understand? Period, dog. No cab. Here we go. Hmm. Alabama football's 2025 recruiting class brought in some major talent that contributed in significant ways during their true freshman years last season. One of the members of that class that saw legitimate playing time over the course of the season was Justin Hill, a former five-star edge rusher. Hill returned to the Crimson Tide for his sophomore season in 26 and is now a much more well-established piece of the defensive front. Following a strong performance at Alabama's A-Day scrimmage over the weekend, he spoke with the media about areas he's continuing to try to improve entering the summer. Obviously, my bend, get off stance, start my hand placement, Hill said. Watching film of NFL guys in college, just watching ball in general. Everybody you can nitpick, everybody's game, everybody's different in the pass rush, like idea of the game, everybody's not the same. So just watching film, trying to get better. Here we go. The 6'3", 244-pound Hill has all the tools necessary to be an elite pass rusher as he continues to develop his role. as he continues, fuck that, let me run that way back. Here we go. Roll Tide. The 6'3", 244-pound Hill has all the tools necessary to be an elite pass rusher as he continues to develop. His role grew throughout his freshman season last year, playing in all 15 games, but garnering more and more snaps on defense by the end of the season. He finished the year totaling 10 tackles, 4 of which came against Georgia in the SEC title game. We good, boom. We go, rock this bitch. Straight up. As he gears up for next season with a more prominent role in store, rotating with the ones and defense throughout almost the entirety of A-Day, he said he's looking to increase the impact he's able to individually have on games with his play, something veteran teammate Yanze Pierre is helping teach him. And that's really good news as well. The fact that he wants to dominate, basically, step up more, make more plays, etc. And we definitely need that from him. He's no longer a young guy, freshman guy, whatever. He's now a sophomore. He's gained real experience from last year. He earned real reps from last season, right? So boom, he should be ready to rock and roll and lock in. Put it all on the line, put it all on the field, period. Now, if he wants to make more noise, have a bigger impact, then go do it, baby. Go do it. Here we go. Let's get it. Really just going out there and cutting things loose, Hill said. I feel like Pierre is a guy who's a competitor and he's going to go out there and give you his all. So I feel like just watching him, he kind of gives you a feeling. So I just go out there and just play ball without really thinking about it. You always try to do the right thing. But when you just go out there and just play ball, you play your best. I'll just say my effect on the game, from a pass rush level, and really just affecting the game, being the guy who can disrupt and change the outcome of the game. And we know Justin Hill, a really good athlete. Well, the question is for him, will he continue to improve, get better and get better? That's it. Hill's developing pass rush ability with the help will help the defense's ability to generate pressure. Something head coach Kalen DeBoer said needs to continue improving going into next season. Hill was asked how he thinks the pass rush is coming along, specifically coming out of the performance on a day. And the biggest thing from the pass rush, it needs to be a more consistent pass rush for sure. That was one of the biggest problems last year. You know, you got a good pass rush, first half, second half, bad, or vice versa, or you got one good week and one bad week or one okay week. So we gotta bring it all together every week, every Saturday, week in, week out. Period. The pass rush must be there. The violence must be there. The awareness must be there. Bitch, yeah, for sure. Here we go. Yeah. I'll just say my effect. Okay, I read that part. Boom. Ability. Hold on. That one in here. Hill's developing pass rush ability will help the defense's ability to generate pressure, something head coach Kalen DeBoer said needs to continue improving going into next season. Hill was asked how he thinks the pass rush is coming along, specifically coming out of the performance on a day. Well, first of all, shout out to our O line. Hill said, our O line has been pushing us the whole spring. Our respect to the O line for sure. Here we go. To be honest, today, we've had practice where we got after it, they got after us. I feel like we did all right, but I feel like we missed a lot more with our defense and our pass rush. I feel like just our intensity, day in and day out, just really coming to attack and really just taking advantage of the day, if you know what I mean. I dig it, bro. I definitely dig it, Holmes. No cab, roll tide. Roll tide for sure. Yeah. So yeah, shout out Justin Hill for just wanting to step up and play a bigger role this season coming up. And we definitely need that from him. Better pass rush, of course, but we need something from him, period. Here we go. Now I'm going to talk about some Bama players trending upward. In 1 second. After A Day and all that. So, yeah, yeah. Come on, man. Come on, dog. Mhm. Hold up. Mm, 1 second. We go. Where's it at, man? Hold on, I want to break down what old boy said. Yeah, here we go. Let's see what McElroy has to say. Oh, McElroy, maybe, huh? Yeah. In 1 second, man.
Fresh finds perfectly picked for you. Now and new at Target.
Let's get started in Tuscaloosa because that's where the biggest spring game storyline in the country just played out. A-Day happened this past Saturday. There was no live television. You had to be there to see it, which is kind of remarkable. It was played in the national championship. I mean, the programs played the
Yeah, and that was pretty trippy. They're like, come on, dog. They got to find some way, somehow, to have the 8-day game on national TV or on the SEC network. I mean, damn. How the hell you not have this game on SEC network? It should be some way it's visible to the public, visible to the fans for sure. It's no way in hell fans who can't attend the game can't watch the game on TV, on their phone, on their laptop, MacBook, whatever, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, Holmes. But this is a big game in Bama, very big in Bama, in the South, et cetera. People take this seriously still. You understand? Heavy. So they need to find a way to televise that bitch. They're making guapino off it, federale, huh? Linguini, fettuccine, huh? Yeah, dog, heavy. So find a way to put it on TV, SEC network, Bama. You dig me? Early. Roll Tide.
national championship more times in the last 15 years than most programs even sniffed the top 10. But that's where things are right now with spring game access. It's kind of fun. Alabama's coming off a 38-3 Rose Bowl loss to Indiana, right? Coming off a season in which they didn't run the ball very well, ranked in the 120s when it came to rushing attack. They lose their quarterback, Ty Simpson, to the NFL draft. You lose 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen. You lose your top wide receiver in Jeremy Bernard. There's 40 new players on the roster. So it's not necessarily a roster rebuild. It's kind of a renovation, if you will. There's a lot of changes here with Alabama. It's kind of an exciting time when you're following the Crimson Tide. So when Kalen DeBoer has said all spring just how close that quarterback battle between Austin Mack and Keelan Russell is. It's really close, and that neither one has really separated. We all understood that to mean they don't know. I mean, at this point, it's way too early.
It's been too early until now. That's the whole point, the whole factor. Major key. Keelan Russell outperformed Austin Mack. Corsten is, right? Boom. Will K-Dog and Ryan Grubb take Austin Mack's injury into consideration? How massive was the injury? Did it affect Austin Mack that much? What was it anyway? And at the end of the day, did Keelan Russell outperforming Austin Mack like he did say, hey, he's our QB1? Whether if Mack was banged up, dinged up, or whatever, Keelan Russell clearly outplayed him, right? Right. That's what it is. Period. Roll Tide.
Even if they did, they wouldn't tell us. Well, Saturday gave us a little bit more of a picture as to what this quarterback competition looks like. Russell goes out, completes 21 of 33 passes unofficially, right? For 240-something, 3 touchdowns, did have a pick. Mack, not nearly as many attempts, just over 100 yards. So you take into account kind of the context. Now, DeBoer did confirm after the scrimmage that Austin Mack is a little bit dinged up going in, which explains why in the last little bit of spring practice, Russell got the lion's share of the reps and really mostly throughout.
And see, that's the big thing. One of the major things to definitely find out, because how serious is Austin Mack's injury, and did it affect him in the 8-day game, 8-day scrimmage, whatever? That is one of the main questions, right? Right. Injuries matter. If he was banged up, you have to give him some leeway. But you can't ignore the fact Keelan Russell performed very well and outperformed Mack as well. But we got to see how this injury pans out and what's really going on with Austin Mack. You know, K-Dog kept it on kind of hush mode, right? Kept it on a low, for show. But we're going to see. We're going to find out. That's one thing about it. We definitely going to find out. And if the injury affected him that much, well, maybe a different story. But as far as right now, you have to say Keelan Russell is your number one. Here we go.
Out the A-Day game for the most part. Here's the thing. Max started with the first team. Things didn't go super well, I guess. Did miss a throw or two. Did have a couple of really nice throws. Did miss an open guy on 3rd and 7 that couldn't keep the drive going. In comes Keelan Russell.
Yeah, I just gotta throw a little side note in there, right? That boy Sedarian Morgan gonna be a real dog. You know, that the crazy catches he's had already, that number 8 fits him very well. You know, he has big shoes to fill as far as Julio Jones goes, for sure. But what he's done this spring so far, being a freshman, being so young, just really getting into the mix. Oh, he's gonna be a real dog for sure. And with Noah Rogers being out for quite some time, expect Sedarian Morgan to be in the mix even more, Holmes. Heavy. Straight up. Dell in the building. My dog Dell in the building. What up, Holmes? Roll Tide. Is he injured or hurt? If he's injured, he shouldn't be playing at all. If he's hurt, tough it out. No cap, bro. Real shit. And that's the major question right there. Was it a real injury that affected him, or was it something that he could play with? And if it was that, he got beat that day. Keelan Russell was the better man that day. Now, was the competition over? No, but as far as QB1, you should know who is your QB1 right now. Yeah, no cap. Here we go.
And everyone's going to overanalyze every possible scenario, right? Understandably, it is a quarterback battle for one of the most coveted spots in the country. Russell comes in, a couple of really nice touchdown drives, a couple of 4th and goal completions. Now, it's not always, the narrative that you want when it looks like one guy's a little banged up, the other guy plays pretty well. But what we did see, okay, here's what you take away. We know that Russell's got a real live arm. We get that. We also know that he has a bit of a presence, right? The offensive linemen have talked about it. His teammates have gone out and said, well, Ryan Coleman-Williams, for example, said it kind of feels like a video game when number 12's in the ball game. And that's a big endorsement from one of the skilled players.
Yeah, big facts, no cap. He has the ability to change the game with one play, with one scramble, with one broken play. He has the ability to turn it into a touchdown play. That's just what he brings to the table, bro. Period. His elusiveness, his ability to scramble, athleticism, crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's just what it is, bro. So, of course, the player's going to love it. Of course. Why not? Shit. He makes players look better. He gives Ryan Coleman-Williams more opportunities at the end of the day. Even on a busted play, anything could happen, right? Right. Now, Austin Mack, he can create and innovate as well, but on the same level as Keelan, no. But he's not the same athlete as Keon, right? Some of the things Keon Russell can do, Austin Mack just can't do. Period. But I guarantee you, some of the throws Austin Mack can make, you have to question whether Keelan can make some of those throws, especially the extra tight windows. Got to have a strong, massive arm, powerful arm, and Austin Mack has a powerful arm. Period. We go. But Keelan Russell, so dynamic, and his arm isn't weak. And I feel like accuracy, he might be more accurate than Austin Mack. But some of those throws on the highlight realm from the A-Day game, A-Day scrimmage, those were phenomenal throws, damn near, from both guys. So I'm not going to say the competition is over, but Keelan Russell, as far as stats and facts and the eye test, outplayed Austin Mack clearly. How does that affect them moving forward? It all depends on how serious the injury is or is not. Period. And then they'll go from there. But until then, I say, hey, Keelan Russell is your QB1 right now.
Who is going to have to trust whoever's back there as the starting quarterback. So let me be fair. If you look at Mac, maybe some of the high points of his day, I think there were some impressive moments there. Threw a really nice touchdown in the back of the end zone. That was a good ball to Latsier Brooks there in the back. Hit some deep shots. Meadows got involved. Coleman Williams got involved. Kind of reminded everybody that there's a lot of talent with Austin Mack. He's 6'6". He's seasoned. He's a veteran. He's been in the system for a while. He understands the nuance of the offense. And he's not going down without a fight. I can promise you that. But here's what I do know coming out of Saturday is that right now, whatever gap that might have existed between Austin Mack and Keelan Russell, just based on experience, I think that's probably evaporated right now. And we're talking about the Gatorade National Player of the Year in high school, arguably the highest rated signee in Alabama's modern recruiting era. That's according to whatever service that you might have out there. He's not just a 5-star that's just waiting to get his opportunity. I mean, he is getting his opportunity, and so far, he is making the most of it. The other story out of Tuscaloosa is the defense. And that might be the foundation of where this team goes this year. I mean, defensive coordinator Kane Womack entering into year number 3. You bring back some key starters and contributor on the front and in the defensive secondary. And the defense did a lot of really nice things this game. They had a couple near interceptions. They did get a pick by Dre Kirk there in the back. The front 7 was really good in causing disruption against a relatively inexperienced offensive line. But the linebackers, for the most part, a lot of new faces there. They were in the right places at the right time. So the honest take on Alabama coming out of the spring game, the defense has a chance to be excellent. And the offense is probably going to be as good as whoever ends up winning the starting quarterback job.
Well, not just that. As far as the defense, we know. I mean, we know how great the defense can be or will be. I mean, we had a great defense last year, home. So, Greg McElroy saying that is not shocking at all. The defense will be what it is, does what it do what it do, baby. Period. And I feel like the defense will be even better this year. But the offense doesn't just solely rely on how good it will be, doesn't just solely rely on who the quarterback is. First off, it starts up front in the trenches. Well, first off, it starts with coaching first, from Ryan Grubb, from K-Dog, Kalen DeBoer. So first is coaching, then it depends on the O-line and how they perform. Running game or no run game is the main question. Run game or no run game is the question for real, homie. Period. Can you run the ball? Can you be physical? Can you dominate the trenches? Can you play murder ball? Those are the main questions that's going on. What it is. So it's not all about, who is the quarterback, who's the starter, Keelan or Austin Mack. No, that matters. You want the best man to be at the position, but at the same time, whole time, O-line play for sure. We go, man. Ain't nothing going on but the tide, roll tide, no cap, bro. No cap, man. Shout out my dog Dell in the building, man. Roll tide, Yeah, but Greg McElroy definitely matters who the quarterback is, but what this O-line look like, what this coaching scheme look like, period. Here we go. Roll tide.
Now, if Russell is the guy that looked like he was on Saturday, a playmaker with major poise and mobility, ability to extend plays, then the Alabama offense could be a really pleasant surprise. And maybe Mack is that guy as well. this offense could have a pretty high ceiling. But if the offensive line struggles to sustain blocks, if the receivers aren't consistently reliable, if for whatever reason, if Russell's the guy and or Max the guy, these guys are both relatively inexperienced. If they hit a wall of inexperience in November when the magnitude of the game start ramping up, then that becomes a little bit of a tricky problem, right? But we look at where this program, they're fascinating to watch right now, really fascinating. And the conversation's just getting started. So a lot of good takeaways, probably a lot of overreaction, but a lot to be excited about if you are a Crimson Tide fan.
Hey, Tone.
What QB got picked? Everybody think Keelan is in the league right now. You hear me, Dell? Everybody think Keelan Russell is in the league right now. For me, in my opinion, I feel like it's still definitely a competition. Keelan Russell probably is in the lead. He probably is your QB1, but it's going to be a competition all the way going into fall camp, etc. You know, it's what it is. See here. See it, man. Oh, this is crazy work right here. No cap, man. Check this right here, man. Hey, that boy gonna be a pure dog, number 25, huh? Here we go. Talk about some Bama players who are trending as well. Big boss head on right here, man. Pancake them out. Took him out. Get up out of that. You're over with. Here we go. Right back. Hold on. Come here. Out of there, dog. AK, they was out of there. You're for real. They was out of there. You're okay, bro. And of course, Bama did have the 14th practice today officially. Officially the 14th day of practice. Spring ball goes quick. But the season, once again, is right around the corner for sure, Definitely, man. Definitely, dog. No real information on practice 14. Probably had that later. Second here. Where are the players at? So 6 Alabama players trending up after 2026 A-Day game, scrimmage, whatever you want to call it. Here we go. So first up, of course, Keelan Russell, QB. You know how he balled and performed in the scrimmage. Saturday's A-Day scrimmage was our most extensive look at Russell working with Alabama's first team offense. And the redshirt freshman had a nice day. He and Austin Mack split the reps evenly for the first 10 drives, but then Russell led 5 of the final 6 red zone series. But even before Mack was shut down for the day, The former 5-star was putting together the better outing. Russell threw for 240 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And his playmaking ability, both with his arm and legs, was on full display. He is firmly in the mix for the QB1 role. Next up, Trayshawn Brown, freshman running back. Alabama wants to be better at running the ball in 26, and one of the better looking backs on A-Day was Brown. The true freshman has been a pleasant surprise this spring. He was a late addition to the 26 class, but the former 3-star recruit might have been a hidden gem found by the Crimson Tide. Fellow freshman E.J. Crowell has been sidelined by an injury, or else we may have been talking about him. But Brown has taken advantage of his opportunities. He showed his shiftiness on 7 runs, 25 yards, and caught the ball well, 3 catches for 38 yards. Trayshawn Brown taking advantage of his opportunity for sure. Next up, Derek Meadows, receiver. A couple of wide receivers could have been mentioned here. Freshman Sedarian Morgan led all Alabama players with 75 receiving yards and scored a touchdown in his first 8-day scrimmage. Why the hell wasn't he mentioned then? Huh? No cap, man. Here we go. Roll Tide. Watch out for Sedarian Morgan for sure. But we went with Meadows here. The 6'5" sophomore caught a team high 5 passes and turned them into 69 yards and 1 touchdown. He's had a strong overall spring and is poised to take on a big role in his second year in the program. With Noah Rogers sustaining a knee injury on Saturday, the Tide will need guys to step up. Meadows and Morgan did just that. Next up, Steve Mbamoa, defensive lineman. That's the one you just saw take out A.K. Deer. Get his ass up out of there quickly and swiftly. Shout out A.K. Deer, but Steve Mbamoa dusted him off. Dusted him off real quick like. Roll Tide. Here we go. Alabama's defensive line features some big athletic guys, but Mbamoa might be the poster child for big and athletic. At 6'4", 301 pounds, the former JUCO transfer is a first off the bus type of player, and after a year at UA, his play on the field is starting to match his physique. Mbamoa was disruptive in the scrimmage. Just look at how he blew up a pass protecting A.K. Deer. He rotated in with the ones on the first drive of A-Day and spent time with the first and second team defenses. He can build on his solid spring showing. Watch out this fall. If he can build on his solid spring showing, watch out this fall. Yeah, he a big aggressive motherfucker. You know? Big violent motherfucker. You hear me? No cap, baby. Roll Tide. For sure. But definitely watch out for Steve Mbamoa. Justin Hill, talked about Justin Hill already. Making tackles, making plays, flashing, all that, bro. Hill made multiple plays behind the line of scrimmage. He met running back Kevin Riley in the backfield for a couple of tackles for loss. You know, played really well. Expect Justin Hill to be in the rotation as well. Keep developing, growing, getting better in the scheme, in the system, all that. But he will ball this year for sure. You know? Lorcan Quinn, I've been talking about Lorcan Quinn since I found out about Lorcan Quinn. There were 16 drives in the 8-day game, and 7 of those ended in field goal attempts. So both of Alabama's scholarship kickers got plenty of opportunities. Quinn, a Marshall transfer, was 4-4 with makes from 47, 47, 31, and 28 yards, while Connor Talty was 2-3. That's all we need to know right there. We know for sure Quinn is your guy now, period. Not shocked at all. Pretty much saw it coming. You know? We go. Quinn was consistent from the moment he stepped on the field for warm-ups, booting footballs through the uprights well before the scrimmage started. He hasn't been kicking long, but he has a huge leg. It's possible that both kickers have rolls in 26, but the new guy had the better A-Day. That's what it is, man. So just some players to look out for, watch out for, and all that. Then to get up out of here, you know what it is. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell as well. Support the grind, support the channel. Takes less than 1 second. Why not? Big SKOL here. Roll Tide full of pride. Win, lose, or draw. But we come to win for sure. Down at the levee. We going fishing at the levee. Roll Tide. Believe that.